Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final hour of this week's the
Tara.
No, the Long
No,
Voyage. No, it is not the. I will never get out of that. I swear to God.
the
Okay.
more the more you bring, the more it's brought up higher, the more we're never going to be able to get out of it. So we need to be able to move on.
Yes. This
I'm
week's.
trying, but it's just
Oh well.
Yes. Um. In any case, guys, you have just been. You are witnesses to a pretty awful scene, obviously, of friends and traveling companions and comrades who have been slaughtered in horrible ways, including a very nice lady that you met only earlier this evening and or earlier this same day. And yeah, the whole thing is pretty dismal. So, what do?
Find
Well,
find something either druidic or Liamite and kill it.
I think we need to get Cryboy to look at Horseear.
Well, we also need to get him to look at Braden and see if he knows anything about the nature of his blindness. If we can wake up Aiden, then they might be able to go back together. That would give Braden a chance, assuming that Aiden's even going to be able to survive this. But we'll see. Let's get them both into what remains of Shannon's abode, and where it's at least safer and a bit warm and dry, and go there. And go from there.
So you get them in there. All right.
Yes.
And as you do so, obviously, you also realize what the problem is with Aiden. The reason why he is in such a horrible state is that his abdomen has been very badly lacerated. He has quite
with
literally
what?
teeth, from the looks of it.
Oh,
It looks like this thing tried to bite him in half and only caught a small piece of his, well, stomach.
He dodged backwards really swiftly, but not swiftly enough.
Yeah, pretty much exactly like that. Yes, and that means that he's got a gaping hole in his stomach, and he is weak because he's bled a lot. So
Let's see if Gilfy can do something.
he might. Gilfy might be able to save his life.
We're going to get him there really quickly and then say, go to work, you can save a life.
I need to where is it? I'm going to pray to Nuffle over my giant D20.
Yes. So, do we have Gilfy's player here?
Yeah, I don't know if we have Gilfy here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The others will have gone to pick him up and told him, come on, you need to save a life.
Yeah, he would probably kind of zombie walk to Aiden.
Yes, and once you see him, he is obviously he's desperately badly wounded, but again, it's a wound which, if you bandage him and give him the best care you can, he should survive it. And quite importantly, with Braden outside who might be blind, yeah, sure, but then he's got somebody who can be his eyes. And he might be able to help nurse Aiden back to health. So that's the idea. If of course Gilfy is, that's what the others said anyway, but that's if Gilfy is in any way, shape or form in any condition to do anything other than be miserable.
Oh, he's miserable anyway, but he's still he wants Aiden to survive. He's still fast. I wouldn't say he treated him like a friend, but he's he's still fascinated with him. So
Yeah. He's a comrade, somebody you've traveled with. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what what roles do I have to perform? First aid, then.
First aid. Yes, first aid first and foremost.
So I will actually call upon the powers of my advantages.
Yes.
Of my visualization advantage.
Oh right. Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's yeah. So Gilfy basically kneels over him for a while like cleaning stuff, wiping him off and stuff like that. But he's starting to a bit zone out and starting to plan out his next move. So I will need to heat up the piece, piece of metal to cauterize the bits that I cannot sew together. And then immediately I will have to have Ilva hold them together while having, for example, the Buggy and Sindri hold the wound together while I apply the poultice. Then quickly have to, while somebody else holds the wound, I will have to quickly start stitching.
Yes.
And probably send Frody to find some. If we still have some stashed whiskey or whiskava to clean out the rest of the wound that I have to think, and maybe pour some down Aiden's mouth, maybe kill some bacteria that started going down.
Yes, the point, of course, being that you medicine is not advanced enough to know about the existence of bacteria.
Well,
I know what you mean. So yeah, definitely. What you also find, which may be, and this may be helpful, is there is a bottle of something in this. There's a clay bottle in this house, which when it's investigated contains Wishkava. So you have strong alcohol to help with the cleaning as well.
Thrody has no problem raiding Shannon's house. She's dead
after all.
And he probably sends Frody to because he knows he sees that she used done some healing before, so maybe she has some cleaner dressings than he has.
She does. Yeah. She's got. Let me see how many she would have enough. Good clean linen rolls to make bandages off for a while at least. I mean, it depends on how big the bandage needs to be, obviously, but you can definitely bring her supplies. Although, in fairness, you should probably also leave some to change the dressings on Aiden's wounds, if this succeeds. But you need to roll with visualization. You need to roll an IQ.
Yeah, Yep. Nope. I'm doomed.
Okay, that means you get no bonus for that, but it doesn't give you a penalty either.
I don't think visualization gives
half the bonus, minimum of +1. So you do get a +1.
Yeah.
You do get a +1, and because you have good supplies available and you have a first aid kit, you get another +1. So yeah.
It shouldn't be a problem.
That's fine. You manage.
Jesus, just on the money.
Yeah, but hey, just on the money is good enough. You succeed. You manage to all of you working together. Some people hold him down because, again, when you cauterize the wound, he may be unconscious, but he screams nonetheless. he does come back around when that happens because of the absolute horror of the pain. He then somebody has to, you know, give him something to bite down on because the, you know, so he doesn't writhe and scream. Somebody holds him. Somebody holds the wound together. This is a group effort basically, but he's one she, and you are 5 Southlanders. There is no way he's moving if you guys don't want him to. It's just not happening. So you do, in fact, bandage him. You manage to get this whole thing bandaged. And you... and then you can roll folk medicine. Whatever happens now, you have stopped the bleeding.
Does folk medicine get any bonus, or
folk medicine
flat?
gets a +1.
Okay.
And you are using. I'm taking it you're using one of the poultices. You mentioned that before.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Okay. He has been knocked to below 0 health. So he doesn't get quite as much health back from this, but he does get a little, and it is enough that, again, the wound does start to, you know, to knit close, but it's very raw, and it could still, you know, the wound could still break open and start bleeding again, and so on. It's kind of touch and go, but you are absolutely sure that if he is allowed to rest and he gets something to eat and something to drink and so on, then he will make it. And he does have Braden there to help feed him. The problem really lies in Braden being blind and therefore not being able to go to get water.
Can I go to Braden and check him out? What might have caused?
Yes, you can.
With the diag.
Do you have diagnosis? Yes,
Yep.
you do. There you go. Best as you can tell, he's not in a particularly good shape either. Something extremely heavy rolled over him. He explains the situation to you, how the snake, you know, he was caught under the snake, it rolled over him. And he's not, you know, he's not dying or anything of the sort, but it does seem like he suffered some head trauma when that happened. And that's why he can't see.
Yeah, Ilva knows what that feels like.
Can I judge if it might go away, or is it?
You would give him about a 50% chance of getting his vision back.
Well, he would probably up it to 40. Feel better.
But yes, that's your best guess, is that he's got about, you know, some even chance to see if he gets the use of his eyes back.
Yeah, he would probably say to Frody that they will probably use reinforcing the at least the door or something, so they can hold out for 2 or 3 days while Aiden is slightly knitting back in, so he can move, and then see if the blindness passes over. Because if it doesn't pass over 2-3 days, then it's probably permanent.
Well, we do have a lot of strong arms. We should be able to make a door.
Definitely. Also, you would also be able to, and Braden asks for help with this because he does, you know, once the whole thing gets explained to him, which I'm assuming that you guys did from what I understand here. Yeah. He's more than happy to help. He's incredibly relieved that Aiden is alive, even though he's severely wounded. And he definitely will, as he says, I will, there is no question, I will help him as best I can. But he says, I can't go out for water. Could you maybe fill some, you know, water skins or buckets or whatever is around and put them in the house.
That would make sense.
Wouldn't Mrs. Dead Half Southlander have a water barrel outside? Catch one.
No, she's got
rainwater.
She actually has a small well.
Huh.
It's not built with, it's not built up with a wall around it or anything. It's literally a hole in the ground, but it is a well.
It works.
It works. But you can't make a blind man go over there. He's gonna fall in,
While they're getting water, Gilfy would check out the little bag that the Aiden was found with.
It actually contains herbs and bandages. It looks like he was, maybe trying to come to the aid of his friends.
Yeah. Yes, he will probably just prep some, easily accessible, stuff to, apply.
Yeah. And as it's, if you ask about it as well, because Aiden does come back to his senses now that you've, he does explain very wearily and weakly, obviously, as he's very pale even by his standards, and he does explain that he was wounded while the fight was going on, but he saw everybody was bleeding or dying, and he ran for the house because Shannon was supposed to have these things, and he didn't realize how bad his own wound was until he was trying to get back outside, and he just passed out. And he, of course, he too, of course, asks what's happened to the others, with the exception of Ardal, whom he apparently saw get bitten in half.
Not
Gilfy
nice.
does. Yeah, Gilfy does not even respond. It's just like he's looking sad,
Well, then
still with bloody hands, and
then Ilva sighs. You're the only two who survived.
I see. Oh. Well, it seems that we wouldn't have survived if you hadn't come back. So I guess we really do owe you our lives.
Well, if it wasn't because of my suggestion, you would have come with us and wouldn't have been here to be attacked in the first place.
Well, he says, and smiles very weakly and very wearily. He closes his eyes and says, I think I'd better rest a little. I'm really tired.
Thrody doesn't know if that's a good idea, so he just glances at Gilfy. Like, is it this one of those don't rest thing, or is it this one of those
No,
rest thing?
he needs to rest and recover his strength. He's not in any danger of dying now. You've
He
done
Just the one with a humongous headache.
yeah, Gilfy probably says to Brayden, that Brayden was still alive.
Yeah.
To check he needs his rest, but please check every X amount of time for breathing and stuff like that. I know you cannot see really well, but just put the hand to his nose or something.
Yes, he will do so. He says he will.
And then after saying that, the Gilfy walks outside.
Ilva looks over at Brayden and then back at Aiden. You should probably also be careful with sleeping after such a hit to the head. It's not a good idea to just go back to sleep immediately.
No, I'll stay awake for as long as I can before I sleep. That's for certain. He says and sits down. Could I get you guys to do us one more favor?
Of course.
Bury the others.
Didn't even have to ask for that.
Do you want them buried or in a pyre?
If you can build a pyre, it would be better. I just don't want, scavengers to have them. Carrion eaters and so on in the swamp. I want them to get a decent funeral.
I'll build a pyre.
I'll help you carry him.
Thank you. So you spend the rest of the night and some of the next day on that, and before you leave, or
Yes.
and then you probably, well, not probably, you also at some point you guys do need some rest as well. So you also, this obviously also means that you have time to stay there to make sure, just that extra time to make sure that both of them are going to be okay.
Yeah.
We will probably establish a guard schedule because
Yeah.
this place is probably not safe.
No, it's probably not, but well, it might be. You don't, nothing bothers you. Nothing bothers you throughout the entire night or the next day, for that matter. You're left alone.
I would just say before we go to rest, like Gilfie, when Gilfie just walked outside, he was carrying a bottle of whiskey with him.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and probably like he was like taking a swig and then trying to wipe his hands from the blood, and and just standing there trying to wash his hands very
Insistently.
while almost often big time chugging on that whiskey.
Yes.
I think if he's still standing like that once they're done dragging the pyre of fire. Pyre of fire. And we'll go over and place a heavy hand on his shoulder. Don't you start that too.
They just had to fucking shoot the old man. Don't. He just tosses like the cloth that is dirty from blood and tries to walk away.
Ilva just holds on to him.
Well, then he doesn't walk away.
No.
He's
And
probably just
I'm suspecting that they're already standing at a little distance from the others because he was fidgeting, trying to clean his hands, even though there were probably no more blood on them, and now they're completely
Raw.
skinless. There's no way of saying if it was the old man or if it wasn't. But yeah, everything has consequences. What is done is done. There is nothing good with dwelling on it. Then you'll probably end up like, well, she gestures toward the man now in two.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure whatever he's seen in his life was the thing that led him to drink that much, and he dwelled on it. There is nothing we could have done. There is no way we could have known if this would happen because of what we did. Okay, Gilfie, I know it's hard to take in, and it will probably take a long time, but try. You could have known, you couldn't have known, and there is no way of knowing if what we did this. Anyway.
Don't you understand? They are just reckless. He just points with the bottle, hand that holds the bottle. Yes. He points to what's left of Ardal. Like, this could have been Sindri. This could have been you.
It isn't.
Well, Frody almost was.
Gilfie, dwelling on what ifs and could be's is what makes someone crazy. How many times do you think I've been thinking the same? What if I never became a battle maiden? Would my mother and father never have left me behind? Why did they leave me behind? If I kept dwelling on that, where would I be now?
Not about that. It's not about dwelling on the past. It's about thinking before you do, and he just takes another swig.
Yeah. I know.
If bottle is starting to be empty, he just like tosses it behind him and just tries
Yeah,
to
it's
walk out.
probably getting empty. Yeah.
Yeah, he just tosses it like behind him and just tries to walk away again somewhere.
I know, Gilfy. She pulls him in for a hug. Men are weird like that. I know.
Oh,
Maybe
so,
they'll listen next time.
How does Gilfy react to that?
He probably does not stop like clearly sobbing, but there's a like tear rolling down, and he doesn't like give back the hug. He's just
Yeah, it's
he's
just
getting he's getting hugged. He's not hugging.
yes.
Right. The in any case, over the next, as I said, the next day or so, you all managed to get some hours of rest. I guess that means, Gylfi, we need to see a nightmares roll from
Oh
you.
yeah.
And
Do I have penalties?
Yes, I was about to say that. Yes, you do. You've got a -1 for this.
Only -1.
Yeah, only -1.
Who knew?
It's still.
So now it's 11. Okay, it's rolling.
Rolling.
Oh, just on the money.
Good. You managed.
The whiskey killed the dreams.
Yes, you had the dreams, but you don't wake up short of breath and screaming from them. They probably no question that you still had nightmares. They were nightmares. They were not night terrors.
They were nightmares, and he might not remember the second he wakes up.
Well, at least not clearly. But yeah, he's going to be okay for the next day in terms of having slept enough at least. And as for everybody else, you managed to get this pyre constructed. It's not the world's largest pyre ever, but it is big enough that it will consume them in their entirety, which is rather important.
I think, even if we don't have that much material, we could probably do something with the construction of it to make it more efficient.
Yes, precisely. That's a matter of heat rises. So if you place the dead on a relatively high platform and stack the wood up underneath them efficiently, you will actually get a better burn. It's quite horrible to know such things, but that's how it goes. And while you do this, at some point, Braden suggests, or he asks politely if you would mind, maybe taking a few scales off the side of this horrible beast, a piece of flesh or something off the side of it, and burn it with them. So sort of, they died fighting it, as he says. So let them have that in death.
Of course.
And somebody took Galvin's little pouch, right? I can't remember if somebody said they did.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, and you take care of that, and even though he can't see, Braden asks to be brought outside when the fire is lit, and
he can feel the heat from it.
He can feel the heat from it, and obviously Aiden is in no condition to do that. But he, when it's all done, Braden goes back inside and just reassures him that everything was done right and so on. And then by that point, you've made sure that they have some provisions. You've made sure that they have water, and that they can barricade the door and so on and so forth. You've done everything you can to make sure that they are safe and that they are fed until such a time when Aiden is able to walk again and they can get out of the last few parts of the swamp and start moving back south, and then you're ready to move on in your case.
So If everything goes well, they'll have a limp guy, a blind man, and one who's dropped his intestines.
Yes, pretty much.
Did any of us know the way?
Yes, we did.
Yes. It's been. You were basically told when you entered this the swamp. Braden told you that the mountains you could see on the other side, in the distance, is where you are going, and
That's true.
he explained that what's it called? The place that you're going, the town that you're going to is near a specific pass, which he pointed out. So it's possible to find it from there.
I think I'll add a little bit of divination to it just to make sure we find it.
That's probably a good idea. So you throw the bones before you leave.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, one thing
Yes.
Sindri would like to do, and
Yes.
he sort of he's probably debates about this during the burning, considering Braden's opinion of powers, but Sindri can't really help himself. He, as the fire's burning down and everyone else has gone off, he will take his knife and he'll gently let some blood out of the palm of his hand, his left hand, and sacrifice a few drops of blood with the prayer to the powers to keep them safe, to keep
receive
Braden
them
and
well,
safe.
basically. Yeah.
Yes, either in life or in death, depending on, but preferably in life, because
Obviously, yes. But that's he's not. I mean, his personal dislike of the powers doesn't mean that others aren't allowed. So
But that's the thing, is it?
So he's you say a prayer for them, and then I'm assuming that you guys are starting to move on after you did the divination where you threw the bones, and the bones in this particular case tells you to quite literally the bones fall in a weird pattern on the ground, and it takes a while until you realize that it's the direction of a road. It's the shape of a road, so you kind of know how to follow. It's a road that's going to make this bend and then that bend and then that turn, and when I've done that, I know I'm on the right track, so to say.
Thank you, Bones. That's very helpful.
Well, now you just need to find the road.
That's very helpful. Well, that looks like any road I've ever seen. Fuck.
But yeah, then we at least have a bit more to go on.
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
head towards the mountains.
Absolutely. To look for one thing, to at least look for a road now.
Yep.
So yes, but you start moving again, and you're not that far. I mean, now that you've moved through the actual swamp, you realize that you got maybe a day left to go, but you've spent half an extra day, or almost an extra day, with taking care of the dead and the wounded and so on. But the point is, all right, you'll be a little bit delayed, but you've traveled for by the time you get there, you will have been on the road for 11 days. Anyone who says go there and do this within a 10-day, they need to know that there can be a slight delay along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one other thing to consider, which is that without any of the men of the Green Shores moving at their pace, there's now only Southlanders left. We can do our power hiking more effectively.
Yes, you can.
I like the name power hiking.
Yes, you can.
We power walk.
Yep, you can move
Power.
quicker. You can
Viking
definitely move quicker in the.
We go power hiking because we're power Vikings. Okay.
Can we kill him?
And that's all
Well-
on the drums.
When I come visit on New Year's, yes, you may.
So what happens is, as I say, you get out of the swamp. You actually get back on dry land, and start drying out your footwear again for the first time in days.
It's nice feeling, yes.
Yes, and not stinking. Well, you still smell because you've been in swamp water, but everything around you doesn't necessarily stink, and you get pretty quickly from there. Maybe you go for half a day, and you spot a road. You actually see a road up ahead, and you see people on it, not just one or two. You see quite a few people traveling in both directions on this road.
Good.
And you were told at one point that the reason why this place was so important was that the only way through the mountains, the only pass through these mountains that goes north to south, is the one that you're heading to, meaning that it's quite heavily trafficked. There are a lot of people going there because merchants and so on.
Well, we should discuss whether to follow the road in plain view or...
We will make a lot of fuss walking here. So there's both a pro and a con for that. Depends on how we want to actually go at the town.
How are we going to go at it with us 5?
Well, you're the scout. Do you think we could follow the road without being seen?
Is that something I would know offhand? So,
You could,
GM, or...
well, yeah. If you, I'm just to be sure that I understand. You mean follow the road, like at a distance from the road, but just follow the curvature of the road. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not walking down the middle of the road, but just
That's
Yeah,
what we want to avoid, because
Yeah.
the whole...
us not looking like everyone else, sort of thing. Yes.
Yes.
I
I just love that idea of walking down the middle of the road. They'll never spot us.
You could definitely do that. Yes, that would be a possibility, no question.
It's certainly possible, if we're careful.
How much would it slow us down?
Not by much. It would not be by much, because you would still be close to the road itself, so it would be definitely be doable.
Yep. I convey that exactly to...
In that case, it might be an idea to do so. We don't want them to be warned ahead of time that a band of Southlanders are headed their way.
Indeed. Especially with not what I'm going to do to half of them, should I get the chance.
Huh?
If we take this town, if we succeed in this, these people are going to find that any mercy I may incline towards has been spent.
Were you ever capable of that in the first place?
Sindri gives Ilva. He hasn't done this before. Well, maybe not. He's very rarely done this before, but he gives Ilva a look that could melt Southlanders' steel.
Oy, ouch.
She doesn't seem the least moved.
Anyways, you can follow it, and in any case, that's the thing.
Then I think, unless someone suddenly says, "No, I want to walk in plain view," that's what we do. The following it, not the plain view thing.
That person who suggests that will be quietly disposed of, and sent the rest of this, and the sensible people will be continue with the plan to be quiet.
Yep.
Okay, so you You follow it near the road, but at a I mean, obviously close enough that if you want to, then you could move a little closer and maybe scout what's actually on the road itself while still staying hidden. It's not difficult because the road runs into a pine forest. It's not very dense, but it's dense enough. You can move through it rather swiftly, but if you move, let's just say 300 or 400 paces into the woods, then nobody from the road would actually spot you.
Good. We shall be stealthy Vikings.
Yes.
Like ninjas.
No,
What?
no Viking ninja.
You would be ninja kings.
Nin Kings.
Kings.
I'm done. We've got 8 minutes. I'm just walking away.
That's the second time tonight you've said so. You keep saying so, but you don't deliver.
Or even better, Bye, Jace.
All right. In any case, guys, you start moving along the road, and after about another half a day, the afternoon passes, and it starts getting to the early hours of evening. It becomes clear, and it becomes clear specifically because it's evening, because then you can see, you can't see very much because it's dark, but you can see the lights from this town up on top of a hill.
Oh!
You are able to spot that because the lights from fires and so on, fireplaces, and there's it's not a lot of light, but it's light, and in a dark night that's enough. And
Is it a cold evening?
It's not for you guys, no. It's brisk, I think I would say, but it's not cold. And with you now being in a spot where you can actually see the place that you have been heading towards for the last, what feels like ages for you, but has been, 11 days. We are going to stop here until the next time, because it's an excellent place to stop for today.
I'd forgotten all about actually having a deadline or a stop point. I was like, what?
Mhm.
Oh, right, we stop at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Well, I take that as a positive. That
I was quite enthralled.
That is good. That is good. Well, you guys, 4 XP for tonight, because that was some really, really excellent role playing amidst all the drama.
So yeah, it's enthralled is one word. I would use the word traumatized personally, but
Yes.
Why?
So how much have we gotten in total?
20.
24.
Those that were on all this.
In that
What?
case, I have noted it down and I'll probably consider spending some of it soon.
Yes.
We had 24 in all?
Yes.
We've gained 24 experience since we started. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If you haven't missed.
And
Your total of points character should be 144.
yes.
What?
The total on the point summary on character sheet should be 144.
Because basically, when you get XP, it's exactly the same as the points you bought your character for initially. You spend them in the same way.
No, I know, but I have them in another place, otherwise I'll be
Right.
very confused.
No problem. But it's you've gotten 24 XP since we started,
Okay.
Cool.
and
Gilfield would actually, like, I was trying to I forgot to do it while we were on the, like, still in the hut, that Gilfield would try to look around for some like gray piece of gray pieces of cloth,
yes.
because I was thinking that he would make alteration to their cloaks. to
Alright,
hide their
yes.
heraldry
Good
when they're
idea.
around.
Well, yeah, you could probably find enough cloth of various colors to be able to do something like that, no problem.
Or just to make like a different pattern to just mask them as some other warband.
Yeah, no problem at all. That's that is definitely doable. So you can do that, yeah. We can retcon that and say that you got that.
Ilva, does this look right? I'm colorblind. Oh.
It's gray anyway, so it's like
It looks gray. It is gray.
It is gray, yeah.
That's the first time I got it right.
There isn't enough cloth that you can disguise them as, all gray clotks, as just flat gray.
I would say no, he wouldn't make them all gray. Like he would make visible alterations so their own heraldry would be very, very hard to recognize.
Yeah, it would be very obscure, definitely. No problem at all. That can be done. We'll handle that next time when we get back to this. And on that note, guys, and for the listening and viewing audience, we will see you next time, I hope, for more of the Long Voyage. This has been session 8, and from me and from the players, until next time, bye.
Bye.